And welcome back.
Yeah, we're back. Didn't go too far. Sorry for the mix-up last couple of days, last 2 days. Friday and
Yeah,
Sunday, have somebody, but it didn't work out. Whatever.
as long as it's only for good stuff, Rabbi. Good stuff.
Okay, let's learn.
Okay.
Okay, we're holding the Chumash. We're holding the Parshas Akev, the second reading. Today's Monday. We're holding the second reading, chapter 8, verse number 11. Be very careful. And Tishkach, you might forget. As Hashem Elakecha, you might forget God. The Vilti Shomer Mitzvesav, by not keeping His commandments. Vilti Meshpatav and his ordinance, Chukaisav, statutes. Hashanei V'chtav Hayem, which I'm commanding you today. Then Teichov Etzavata, at least you eat and you'll be satiated. Uvatim Tovim Tivna, you can build beautiful homes. Yashapta, and you will dwell in them. And your herds and your flock, they will multiply. The kasav is zav yirbalacha. And you're gonna have silver and gold will increase by you. And everything you'll have will increase. And your hearts will grow horny. And you're gonna forget God, which took you out of Mitzrayim. Base Avodim from the house of slavery. Which led you through the desert, Hagodel Anera, this great and awesome desert. A desert with snakes, vipers, and scorpions. And a drought where there's no water. Who brought out water for you out of a solid rock. Who gave you man in the desert, which your fathers didn't even know. In order to afflict you, in order to test you, which will benefit you in your end. What you ultimately going to say in your hearts. My strength and the might of my hand. Accumulated me all this wealth. You should remember you should always remember God. Because God is the one who gives you the strength. Lots is choil to create all this wealth. The man hakim is bisay in order to establish his covenant. Which he promised to your fathers, to this day. Will come to pass if you're going to forget the Lord your God. You're going to follow other gods. You're going to serve them and bow down to them. I'm going to be a witness to you against you today. You surely perish. Like the nations which God is destroying before you. So will you'll be destroyed, perish. Because you're not hearkening to God's words. Chapter 9, verse number 1. Shema Yisrael, hear, O Israel. Today you're going over the Jordan. You're going over the Jordan to inherit great, powerful nations. Greater, much powerful than you. Arim Gedalos, great cities of Betunas Bashamayim that are fortified up to the heavens. Rashi says, Gedalim Vatsumi Mimach, what means them greater and mightier? You are mighty, but they are mightier than you. Am Godel Varam B'nei Anokim, a great and tall people. They were called the children of Anokim, Anokim are giants. Asha'ata Yadaita, and you knew, you heard of. Ata Shemaita, you heard of them. Mi Yisatziv B'nei Anok, who can stand before giants. Yadaita Yom, you should know today. Shem Elokecha hu ha'evil lefanecha. You should know today that God is the one who goes before you. Eishloich lo, he's a consuming fire. Hu yashmidem, he's going to destroy them. Hu yachniim lefanecha, he's going to subdue them before you. Ve'nashta ve'varatem meher, and you're going to inherit them and destroy them quickly. Hashadiba Hashem, as God has. Oh, I was the Chumash for today. I go to the Tanya of the day. We are in the fifth letter. Bukiet HaKodesh. We learned about the Zohar, which makes the holy name, explains how the name of God, it goes into each day. And this is the letter that continues the letters of the Alter Rebbe, which the Alter Rebbe talks about the greatness again about giving charities. So these letters writing, again, the Alter Rebbe established, as I mentioned before, they established Kel Chabad in Israel, collecting for the Jews of Israel. It was this big project that he did, was to support Mendel Haradok, his colleague, Mendel Haradok, and the Chassidim that went from Russia to Israel, Russia destitute without the support of the Jews of Russia. So these are the letters that Alter Rebbe broke about the concept of giving charity. So he who gives charity to the poor, the relevance of this answer, however, remains obscure. Now, we therefore, equipped with the foreground insight, will revert to the question in which the letter opened up. How does giving tzedakah to the poor make the name of God? What's the connection between the name of the Eibishter and the giving of tzedakah? The Alter Rebbe says, take for man, a human being in this world. Mishu Chacham Gadol. Take a guy who's a great sage. Haskell the Floyd Chachma. He has the capability to comprehend wonders of wisdom. So you take a guy that's a great sage, Einstein in knowledge, and he contracts his mind and thought into a single letter of his speech. Take his whole drasha and bring it into one word. The Gemara says about the Eibishter, they take the whole Bachavakuk, and he said the whole Torah is one word. That's God's name. Take the whole concept and put it into one word. This is a stupendous contraction, unbelievable contraction, and a great descent of his wondrous wisdom. Precisely as this analogy, and infinitely more so, there was an immensely great and mighty contraction. When you say that through a word of God, was created the world. The Sheshis made Bereshis. The 6 days of creation was created the world through the words of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Uberuach piv, and with the breath of his mouth was Kol Tzavam, all the hosts of the world were created. When you say all of the whole entire world, the Zohar says, the whole entire world, whatever you can see in this world, from one side of the world to the other side of the world, everything that's in this world, in the heavens and the earth below, he always say was all created through one letter, through the letter Hey, Shal Shem Havaya, for the name of God's name, Baruch Hu. Oisa Kalila, the letter Hey, a light letter. That's what the Zohar calls the letter Hey. Hey, the Oisa Kalila. It's the breath comes out of, you don't use any of the, so to say, the organs of the mouth, because it does the breath. It's called the Eis Kalila, the weak letter. So when this weak letter came about, light letter, weak letter, came about the whole creation of the entire world. So as is brought down in the Torah, it says, Bihi bottom. This is it says in Genesis, this is the chronicles of the world. Bihi bottom, when God created them. So the Zohar says, Behei bottom, Bihi bottom. That word, when he created them, if you take off if you just divide the word, and now you have Behei with the letter Hey, bottom he created. Behei with the letter Hey, he created them. So these are the chronicles of the heavens and the earth. With the letter Hey, he created them. The ganze Welt, the whole world. This whole world was created with the letter He hamoker. So the letter Hey is the mocker, is the source. Mocker, that test my mother is. This is the source of the nine creative utterance, in which the first utterance, Bereshis, Bara Elakim, Bereshis in the beginning. The Nami Maimru, the first Bereshis, Bara Elakim, as a Shamayim Vesaretz. What's the word Bereshis? Even Achis is Bereshis, is Torah, it's Chachma. Torah is called Reshis. He bechinas Chachma Nikadeshis. This is the concept of wisdom, which is called Reshis, the beginning. That's why wisdom, Chachma, is the Reshis, is the beginning of all the tzviris. Chachma is the beginning of all manifestations. So the descent of Chachma, the source of the nine creative utterances, into Malchus, the lowest tzvira, involves an intense degree of contraction. So the Eibishter contracted himself ultimately through the letter Hey, came about the concept of Bereshis. Through the letter, to explain you how it went. It went from the letter Hey of God's name. It came down into the first letter of the 10 Asarim Amaros. What was the first letter of the 10 utterances in Genesis? Bereshis, the first letter of the Torah. What is Bereshis? Bereshis stands for two words. Bereshis stands for the concept of the beginning. What's the beginning? That's Chachma. That's wisdom. So Bereshis Bara Elokim, in the beginning, and through Chachma, the Eibishter created everything through Chachma. What's the difference between creation and today? Today, God creates the world constantly. So what's the difference between the way God created the world in the beginning of creation and way God creates the world? Because as we learn that God creates the Baal Shem Tov taught that God creates the world continuously. That time, in creation, there was the creation without any something from below. There was no man. Man was on the wood. Because man was not yet in the world. Man was created on the sixth day of creation. Like it's the Abishter, why did Abishter create the world for? God had the concept of kindness. He desired kindness. And the world was created the act of kindness. Not only the world was created for the act of kindness, but the world was ultimately created for the man who would symbolize kindness. You take the word bihi bottom, that the word before we mentioned. Like, these are the chronicles of the world. The day that it was created, bihi bottom. If you take that word and scramble it, we'll come to the word Be Avraham. Avraham, Abishter created the world all for the sake of Avraham Avinu, which Avraham Avinu came to the world 1948, 1,948 years after creation. But Avraham Avinu was the first one to bring about chesed, to teach the world chesed, to teach humanity what means chesed, what means chesed, kindness of God, what means kindness of a human being. He chesed, as the verse says, chesed la'Avram. Abraham embodied the concept, the attribute of chesed. The verse was intimate that the heavens and the earth were created to the attribute of chesed. However, after the creation of man, to work it, that was Avram Avinu made the world, brought godliness to the world. But according to this means brought the concept of chesed, the chesed of the Eibusher to the world. He did the chesed. The Medrash says that the so to say mitzvah chesed, complaint to God, that Avram Avinu took away his job. Avram Avinu is the concept of chesed. So why does he need to be chesed? You have the concept of Avram Avinu, which taught the world, which really is something that should have been the beginning, that should have been the other mission. But ultimately, through his sin, he lost that agenda, and Avram Avinu took 10 generations, 20 generations, 10 generations to Noach, and then from Noach to Avram Avinu, another 10 generations. That's how Adam loved her. Then it came about Avram Avinu taught the world that you have to have a avodas Adam, you have to have the service of man. Azai kol asus to the leila. From then and on, really for the time of creation. But also Avram Avinu taught it, they to be able to have midas hachesed, milamayla, to be able to have a concept of chesed, of kindness from above. You have to have chesed lamata. You have to have an awakening from below. Through the acts of charity and kindness that Jews perform in this world. Thus, these good deeds draw down divine influence from the letter Yud, the divine name, from the letter of Chachma to the final letter Hey of divine name, to Malchus is the last letter, the level of Malchus, in a way that good deeds bring together and make the name of God and draw it downwards into its entirety. So it starts on the letter Hey, the second letter, which is the concept of the world, is mamshich through the chesed in this world. Is mamshich, the letter Hud, brings down the letter Yud, which is Chachma Bereshis, till the last letter Hey, through the Vav Midas, the letter Vav, which is the 6 midot of a human being, and ultimately to the last letter Hey, which is the concept of kingship. And that's the concept when it connects to the world. And there you have the way Fon Chachma, which is drawn down because of the Hey, and brought down to ultimately the last Hey, in the God's name, and you bring down chesed, you bring down a sister Layla, you're waking up an awakening from above through the awakening from below, and you bring down the energy of God, the chesed of El, the chesed, the higher level of chesed, the chesed of God. Therefore, our sages of blessed memory said, ever says he has nothing but Torah. His job is Torah. But I don't need to do good deeds. I am a Torah Jew. My job in the world is Torah. So you want to have Gemilas Chesed, go to somebody else. My job is Torah. Sages tell us, I feel a Torah. He doesn't even have any Torah. Ella, every one of us needs to lasik b'Torah. Every one of us needs to engage in the learning of Torah, who begin milas chasadim, and through the acts of kindness. Because the concept, the acts of kindness, Torah comes from above. But the acts of kindness that we do in this world elicits even a higher concept. It brings about the chesed to this world. Even the Torah derives from Chachma. And as we say through the Torah, the world exists. And those who discourse, learn in them, they create the world. Why? Because through the learning of Torah, you elicit an illumination, an infusion, that my love for the supreme wisdom, Torah, which is the source of the Torah. In this Eisadiber, through that I'm learning Torah with my mouth, speech, so I bring down the wisdom of God into speech, which is the way that God created the world. God created the world through speech. So when I learn Torah, I bring down a greater wisdom of God in through speech that created the world. As our sages say, we say it in the davening, whoever learns Torah will have to surely will become. But the Torah, the learners of Torah bring about the building of the world. Don't say your children, but say your builders. Who are the ones who build the world? The ones who learn Torah. So that's why the learning Torah is unbelievable. So why can a person say that I can build the world only through learning Torah? Why not? Never left this flow of Chachma to level of speech in the great descent. To be able to bring down Torah to the world, that's an unbelievable yedida from Chachmei love, from the highest level of wisdom, to be able to bring it down into speech. How do we have that power? The only way we have that power, to be able to bring down Chachma, the highest level of wisdom, into the world, we have to have a chesed. We have to waken up a great kindness above, that God should want to come down through this chachma. Animshar kamayim, which Torah is compared to water. Mimakim gavay, that's like water comes from a very high place. Lemakim namach, and the Torah comes to the very low place. So that is one had the capability through his learning of Torah with his mouth, saying the words of Torah, to be able to bring down this light, this great energy that comes from a very high place. The only way he has that capability is through his chesed. The only way he has that capability if he has chesed. If he has chesed, he has the capability to reveal his chachma. If he doesn't have chesed, then all his chachma doesn't have the capability to reveal this great light. I'm sure you have to necessary to arouse the supernal chesed, which like water, that's why Torah is compared to water, and chesed is compared to water. The difference between Mayim and Eish is Mayim is Chesed and Eish is Gevura. So both Torah and both Chesed are compared to water. Because both of them, both Chesed and Torah, need to be elicited from above. Wisdom, Torah comes from above. And to be able to reveal this unbelievable light, the wisdom of God, not the stop. You're not just by learning Torah revealing something. You're revealing the wisdom of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. To be able to reveal the wisdom of God into this world, that's what we say of the bracha of the blessing when we learn Torah is nice Torah, that God gave us a Torah, the gift. Even though I'm learning it, I'm comprehending it, but really what I comprehend is just a vessel that's bringing down God to the world. So whatever I'm learning is nothing in comparison to what is being revealed in this world. That is my learning. Have the capability to reveal such an unbelievable thing in this world that's a kindness of God. And how do I have the right to reveal that? Is only if I have chesed. That's a roots latata. That's only through my awakening from below. It's taka v'chesed tata, through acts of charity and kindness below. Shemamshichim chayim v'chesed, because it's by me giving life and kindness to revive the spirits of the humble and the downcast. So through when I help a person here lamata, I uplift the person through giving him, helping him charity, through showing him acts of kindness. That's the way God uplifts me. So in essence, when I help a person help the person reveal himself, to uplift himself, that's the way God makes me the capability for that vessel of revealing a greater light. So that's Kamayim upon the way it's the way I do something in this world, that's what is revealed to me from heaven. That's and that's what's written. Let not a wise person glory in his wisdom. The verse says, we just said it in the Haftorah, 2 weeks ago. Let a wise man not glory in his wisdom. Let a rich man not glory in his wealth. Let a mighty man not glory in his power. This is a true glory. In understanding God is the true glory. Why? Because I am God. I am God who acts with kindness. True power, true wealth, true glory is through an act of kindness, through an act of tzedakah. That's the true glory. Why? Because through that, you're going to reveal a godliness in your existence that is the Eibishter himself. Because chesed, an act of kindness, is the real revelation of wisdom in this world. So for its chesed, a kindly conduct of man here below, that results in the fulfillment of the words, I am God who acts with kindness, meaning with chesed in the world of Asi, in the world of action. And that causes the vitality of Chachma to issue downward into the letters of speech, the source of the created beings. The absence of this kindly act, without the act of kindness, it's called his wisdom. It's his wisdom. It's not going to become my wisdom. That means the wisdom is not going to come into this world. The wisdom is going to stay above. It remains in heaven, in an untapped resource, in which the wise man, no man can comprehend God's wisdom. So really, all the wisdom, if you don't have kindness, all the wisdom you have is all really untapped wisdom. And there's no downward flow from it, God forbid. So therefore, even a chacham needs, even a great wise man needs to have chesed. Because again, as the Alter Rebbe said, for God's wisdom to come into this world is a great contraction. Impossible in a normal way. Because God is infinite. And this word, even though it's the word of Torah, is still finite. So for God's wisdom, that's unlimited, to be able to come into a finite, infinite, come to find, that's only chesed shakadosh baruch hu. That's only the kindness of God Himself. For Him, that is infinite, to come in to a finite is chesed elyon. How do I? So I can say the words. I can read the wisdom, but how do I elicit that wisdom? How do I bring down through this teaching, through this learning, a higher understanding, a deeper understanding, the wisdom of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the wisdom of God into this word? That is only through chesed. Since it's only a chesed that God reveals it. So for God to reveal it, to do a chesed, that's why I need to do a chesed. So that's why it says, that's like I am kind, you should be kind. Because you want to reveal my kindness in the world. You want to reveal even my wisdom in the world, which is my kindness, that I am revealing my wisdom in the world is an act of kindness on my side. I don't have to reveal my wisdom in the world. Not my obligation. I created the world and I gave the Torah, which is already a revelation. But if you want to really reveal the chachma of the Eibishter, the real essence of God in the world, that's an act of kindness on my part. You need to do an act of kindness. So by us doing a simple act of kindness, we reveal the true glory of the Eibishter. Says this is Alisalo. Don't praise yourself in your wisdom. What's your wisdom? Even in the wisdom, the great sage that you are, it's ultimately not revealing my wisdom. So it's your wisdom. Your wisdom. What's your wisdom? Garnished. How much you know? It's still nothing. You want to praise yourself in wisdom. Praise yourself in my wisdom. And the way you're gonna have my wisdom is v'aseh chesed. Is not only through learning, but through doing an act of kindness. And by your act of kindness, I'll do also an act of kindness, and I'll reveal to you not your wisdom, but my wisdom. I'll reveal to you my wisdom. What a powerful teaching in Tanya today. Today, the Tillim of today is the 17th day of the month. Chapter 84, 85, 86, 87. 84 to 87. And you do the chitas of the day. I want to apologize again for the last Friday and Sunday for the a little mix-up, and I didn't have a computer, so I could not do it, and I was supposed to have somebody else do it, but everything is run by God. I wish you all a great day, and make sure I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow at 8 a.m. we'll continue the chitas.
Thank you, Rob.